we mad and dying?
Yeah, so who wants to regale us with where I did intend on watching the last session's video. Somebody dropped off. Oh, that's me. No,
we crawled through the snow.
We ended up in a warm city.
The farmhouse hunting lodge.
Carcosa!
Over through the snow.
Got
scared by
Mulladoch House.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, floating jellyfish.
Giant floating jellyfish in the sky. Not your normal floating
barrage balloons.
Yeah, which was
swamp gas.
Nice. Found the hunting lodge, assaulted the hunting lodge like the brave heroes that we are.
Well, tried to.
It got a bit
misty,
wasn't it? That.
Yeah.
Oh, can I shoot some cultists?
We were ready. No. We were pumped for it.
We tied his headbands round his head. The hunt is on. Smeared the mud on his face. Got misty.
We ran through the mist.
So we
ended up somewhere a bit odd in another city. There were loads of confused people. We split up to look for clues. Got lost.
The city shifts itself about.
Somebody
tried to take a pot shot at me. And he told us that Bacon, right? Oh, Edwards. Which one? Is
Edwards?
Edwards is completing the ritual. So we're trying.
Or at least we assumed it was Edwards, because I think they called him the teacher. Was it?
I thought he said.
No, I think he called.
We'd left it where we were going to. He knew where Alexander was.
Yeah,
Alexander was, didn't he?
Yeah, so that was Nos. That was the other guy. So
yeah.
There was the guy that took pot shots at Charles in the amphitheatre. That was one of Edward's cultists.
Yeah.
And he kind of spilt the beans. In fact, he said he were looking for Alexander as well because he were crapping it and decided he wanted to get it. He'd had enough.
Yeah.
And then Gerald and Harry met the wonderful Mr. Nos, who took you to that supposed meeting place and plied you with food and drink for a few hours.
Yeah, what's there not to like about this place? Free wine, free food.
Yeah, he just brought food.
Yeah.
What's there not to like? Better climate than what we had in Scotland.
It is.
I think we should actively encourage him bringing this city.
Why don't we just stay here?
Well, let him bring it out. Let him bring it out of the water.
Yeah, there we go. Job done.
Retirement plan.
So this episode, we're going to be looking for houses.
There we go. There were the rails, and we're off that way.
And I got to fire my gun, and nobody arrested me. I love this place. And I can even wear a racist mask.
You can. Everything goes in Carcosa.
Oh.
And I believe after that, Charles eventually did turn up at this amazing meeting place, and Mr. Nos asked you if you were looking for your other friend.
Yes.
Who he said was in the sculpture museum, I believe.
Yes.
I bet there's nothing to worry about looking at those sculptures.
Oh no, it'll be fine.
They'll be totally normal kind of sculptures.
I need, so Nos had offered to, who's a little bit, more than a little bit pissed, had offered to take you to the sculpture museum.
It'll be fine.
It will. It'll be perfectly fine.
Hell yeah.
Have we got a picture of Nos? I think we've got a picture of Nos somewhere. Come on, Nos. Nobby Nosser. Where is he? There he is. Have we got drag and drop on this?
Nope.
Okay, I haven't got drag and drop on this installed on this one, but there you go. So forget about that. We'll forget that. Okay, no worries.
Imagine.
Imagination is your yes. probably is far better than the picture because the picture's a bit shit. Okay, so
Was he leading the way then?
he was happy, more than happy to lead the way. If you're going to follow him, are you going to go with him? Are we going to look in for real estate?
We've not really got.
I'll
much
take
choice.
a couple of chicken legs with me.
Chicken necks.
The other option is
and a glass of
chaining ourselves together and wandering off. But let's just follow him.
There's a rope tied between us.
I got my 6 foot chain.
Yeah.
So what is Nos told you a few things as well. He told you that the city's name is Yatil, which you recognised, of course, from the play that you saw right back in October. And the Queen of Yatil is Casilda, a brother Aldanez, and a daughter Camilla, which again the names that you recognise from the play. And there is a great festival supposedly happening at the palace, and to celebrate the arrival of a stranger.
In the play, the city what we're in, Yatil, is it Carcosa that they're bringing to this place? Is that right?
This is the city that they're trying to bring?
No, are they trying to bring Carcosa has been mentioned, hasn't it?
Yeah, so they were trying to. So Alexander and the cultists, they were trying to bring Carcosa to Earth, weren't they?
Yeah.
Right. So why are we here? I don't understand. What's this got to do with Carcosa? This place? Is that in the play?
Yeah.
The Queen is in the play. So in the play, is Carcosa brought to Yatil?
Yeah, Carcosa is brought to Yatil, and Yatil becomes
right.
Carcosa.
Oh, right. And then this will get brought to in between those pillar things, probably.
So yeah, Nos picks up one of the jugs of wine to takes with him, along with a pewter cup, which he fills every so often after he's emptied it, keeps refilling it on the way, and he leads you staggering off down a maze of alleyways and narrow staircases, till eventually you reach a small white building, quite a nondescript looking building. It's quite just nothing, doesn't look anything special, just pretty square. No decorative, nothing decorative about it compared to most of the other buildings that are around you. And there is a very small, discreet sign just to one side of the door, or this just doorway. There's no door, just an open doorway that pronounces it as the Sculpture Museum. And Nos leads you through this door, kind of like an antechamber that leads into an area that suddenly opens up in this large area that's and you're surrounded by manicured gardens, and the statues dotted all over the place, like hundreds of statues. There's statues of men, animals, women. There's a statue of Medusa, the snakes snakes on top of a head, writhing and as if depicted as if they're screaming. There's a
bit ironic, Medusa being turned into a statue.
Yeah. There's there is another statue that's like a humanoid, just this black carved from black stones. This faceless, smooth-skinned humanoid. Has no face. Small horns protruded from its forehead, and leathery-looking black wings on its sprouting from its back. And in its arms, it cradles a naked human baby that's nuzzling at its breast.
Oh, that's lovely. Lovely.
How nice.
Nuzzling, is that right? A little bit further on, as Nos leads you through these gardens, you pass a perfect and amazing, just a lifelike replica, carved replica of a cypress tree, which has been placed next to what appears to be the completely identical real version of the tree, both side by side. So it leads you through these gardens, past all these sculptures and statues, these works of art, towards another open doorway at the far side. So flanking this doorway are more statues, more of these monstrous-looking creatures that Gerald and Charles, these are eerily familiar, and probably give Gerald pause, as they have vaguely suggestive of bats with like vague horse-shaped heads and black wings folded up behind them.
Don't like those.
No.
Too horsey.
A look away. Don't want to.
Okay, so so Nos just carries on. He walks straight between them and down and through the doorway, which leads down another set of stairs.
Hey, Nos, mate. What were those horsey things? Didn't like them.
Right, he turns round and sort of steadies himself on the stairs and wanders back up. Says, and he peers at him. And I think that's called Star Steeds of Hastur.
Oh, Star Steeds of Hastur. What do you know about them? Do you know anything about them?
What, the sculptor?
Yeah, well, no, the actual sculpture, the what it's sort of based on.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, what's it supposed to be?
No idea.
Have you ever seen one?
What, the statue?
No, like a real one.
A real one?
Yeah.
He looks at you, and chuckles, and takes another swig from his cup and wanders off down the stairs.
Clearly, he doesn't think they're real.
Well, needs to get out more.
Although, if they're not around here and he's never come across them, I like that.
Well, could be worse. They could have a zoo full of them.
Yeah. They just come down every night and eat loads of people.
Yeah. You have to lock your door unless you've got some sort of magical sign on it to keep them away.
Yeah, that would be less ideal.
Everybody with a vowel in the name is taken out and left out on a night.
Yeah.
So disappears down the steps, and you call hey, are you coming? Are you still want to see your friend?
Yeah, we're coming.
Yeah.
Coming. Horses. Hold your Star Steeds of Hastur.
Okay, so you descend this short staircase, which opens into this vast exhibition hall. It just seemed considering the really nondescript building that you entered through, on the side of this quite small size of it, you would never expect it to contain these vast areas, these big gardens, and then now these massive vaulted exhibition halls. So as you get to the bottom of the steps, there's more of these star steed statues flanking the bottom of the stairs.
So stone star steed statues really fast.
That's quite impressive.
So as you pass them, Gerald, you notice the eyes on one of them swivels to look at you, and the one to your right, the jaws that which are like open suddenly snap shut.
Oh no!
Which the snapping of the sound of the jaws snapping shut draws everybody's attention, apart from Nos, who's already staggering left and right, about halfway down this first exhibition hall. But the rest, you three, do notice, and it does prompt a sanity roll.
We needed to be drunk like Nos.
Yeah.
No, and oblivious.
So let's not forget that Harry is suffering with underlying madness, and if he loses even a single point of sanity, he will have a bout of madness.
I've been successful on last 2 rolls, so let's tempt fate.
So Charles, you lose a point of sanity and perform an involuntary action. Well, I will let you decide on that involuntary action. It's normally
it just throws up.
Himself.
Yeah, we keep it civilized at the moment to an extent. So yeah, just
yes. Harry continues to hold it together.
The wine and the food, it just happens to throw up all the wine and the food that we had earlier.
Okay.
I'll just mumble, they don't look anything like horses.
So aside from that, there's no other movement from them. They're just like stock still. They just look like statues again.
How many of them is there?
2. So there were 2 at the top of the stairs and 2 at the bottom.
The ones at the top we didn't see move though, did we?
No.
I'm going to touch it.
What, in its mouth? Touch its
No.
mouth. Touch
It's
its
like
jaw.
a crocodile upon.
Okay, right.
Snap
It is.
Snap your fingers off.
Oh, have we lost Andy?
Yeah, it's just killing.
Don't touch it. Okay, so you place your hand on it, and it just instantly recoil. It's cold and clammy.
Yeah,
But it feels solid as well.
Do not touch.
Does it feel like stone?
It feels solid. It doesn't feel like any kind of stone that you've touched.
All right.
I mean, I don't know how much of a stone toucher you are, so.
Hey. Whatever pays the bills. Yeah, I wipe my hand on my clothes and step away.
Okay, so like I said, these steps lead into this vast exhibition room that's much larger than the buildings than the other areas above. So there's loads of like side hallways that run off this main one, and there's just hundreds of objects of like various sizes, from like down to like tiny rings and necklaces on pedestals to huge dioramas that have been built. None of this stuff is like in behind bars or in glass case. Everything's on open display. Probably one of the first things that you come across, which just stops you dead, is 2 huge dioramas that appear to be of New York City.
Oh.
So one.
Do we know it? Do we know it's New York City?
Yeah. There's recognizable. There's recognizable landmarks.
Okay.
But one of them's more recognizable than the other. So one looks like the New York that you've seen in pictures. Maybe if you've been to New York, you like I say, you recognize plenty of the landmark buildings there. The Gothic the Gothic Woolworth building, that's towers above most things, and many of the other kind of landmarks. But next to it, kind of mirrored to it, is a slightly different diorama of New York. Again, there's iconic buildings that place it as New York, but the buildings look. A lot of the older buildings have gone, and there's more skyscrapers. It looks more modern, I suppose. And some large areas have been cleared out to create more parks and public places. And the scale of this thing, it's like huge. I mean, you can literally walk into this diorama, and the bigger buildings like tower above you.
So it's like a little model village
Yeah,
sort of type thing.
That kind of scale. Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's really big. Takes up a big chunk of one of the one of these exhibition halls. To the point you can see, you can even like make out, bend down, make out the faces on the little people.
What are they made out of, the little people and things like that?
It's all carved out of black and white ivory.
Oh, fancy.
So you literally have to walk through a weight set as well. You literally have to walk through this diorama to get through the hall. And you walking through one of these park areas in this more futuristic looking version of New York. And there's these in the parks. There's these curious looking, what look like public telephone boxes. But as you look closer, you can see it says City Euthanasia Chamber.
Oh, now we're talking.
Marvelous.
And there's as you're walking through this
diorama.
As you're walking through this this diorama, you can see there's numerous ones of these dotted around. Particularly, there seems to be more of them around like public parks and things like that. But even on like street corners. And as you come out the other side, there is a plaque across each separate diorama. Like I said, they're set up like a mirror image of each one. And one says, The Metropolis of New York, 1929. And the other says, Metropolis of New York, 2030.
Oh.
So both are
Some
actually
sort of
in
science fiction.
Yeah. So both are actually set in your future.
How queer.
Do we have a future?
Even if we did, we'll never live to see this one.
Yeah, of course we've got a future. At least to end of this adventure. Before I forget, could I ask for a luck roll? A luck increase, because I think it's possible we may.
We might need it. Oh, good.
Chance fails.
Maybe not.
But you want to fail.
You want to fail, don't you, for your luck for your refresh?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Well done at failing. Well done.
Yeah.
Bollocks.
That's what you get. Being too lucky.
Come on, fail. God damn it. Yes. Fail. I'll have 10, please.
You've probably surpassed me, haven't you, now?
26.
The same. 26.
It's better than the one I had a few seconds ago.
Well, that's not bad from 2 sessions ago to that.
Okay. So what are you doing?
Have we lost sight of Nos?
You can't see him at the moment.
Nobody about.
There's nobody. There's absolutely nobody else about. Other odd thing about this place is like this, despite the size, like huge auditorium. There's huge. There's no echoes in here at all.
Oh,
Hmm.
Are we on? Did you say we've come downstairs?
Come down steps. Yeah, there's windows and
underground?
there's windows. It's hard to tell, but there are windows in the ceiling, and there's like light coming in through. You can see the like night sky, but of course the daylight flooded in.
Shall we shout to see if it can hear us?
yeah.
Nos,
not?
mate.
Nos.
I hope he's not brought us into a trap.
Imagine we're still
That would be unusual for that to happen.
We wouldn't fall for that, though, would we?
No.
We're too smart for
We
that.
won't be having any of that.
Not today, Nos. Not today.
So there's no response at first. Then you hear a clatter, and you see Nos's pewter cup, wine goblet, sort of roll out from behind a pillar about 20 feet ahead of you,
Oh, for God's sake.
spilling a trail of red wine across the floor.
Red wine. It's not his blood.
Yeah.
Is it?
No, clearly not.
Hmm.
I think one of you should go and see if he's okay.
I'll walk towards it.
Yeah.
I've still got my pump action. I'm all right.
Only shoots butterflies now.
Yeah. Get ready for a face full of butterflies.
Okay, so you approach the.
But I'm not. If it's on like, if it's a thing, I'm well away from it. So I've got as much distance so I can get as best angle to see.
Oh god,
as
yeah,
I
you can get as
Yeah.
well. You can
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
good 100 if you want. You could get a good 100 feet or more.
Well, just maybe 20.
I'll cover their approach. I'll just hang back a little bit.
Okay, right. So you
Go on in,
round.
Ria.
So you sort of clear your like line of sight, and so you can see to the other side of this pillar, and Nos is just kind of slumped, like wine running, like dribbling out of his mouth, and he's like,
Oh, he's not dead. Then.
Oh, that's okay. Is there anything I can throw at him?
the cup that's dropped on the floor.
All right, I pick his cup up and throw it back. And just like not. I don't mean like launch it at him. I just mean like
Yeah.
just like an underhanded sort of throw at him almost to just
Okay,
Wake
so
him up.
like, yeah.
kind of hits him, rolls into his like, are you ready?
Having a good snooze there.
Just sat down for a moment.
Yeah. Well, come on then. Let's get a move on.
Right, he picks up his cup, picks up his jug, like disappointingly turns it over to find it's empty, and kind of just puts them down the floor. Puts them both down the floor, and then thinks twice about it and picks the cup up and brings that with him.
Is that your favourite cup?
Says, well, wouldn't do to be without a cup if we find another jug of wine.
You keen on the old drink there, Nos? Is it?
I'm keen on a party, sir. I'm keen on a party.
All right. Yeah.
A lot of people around here seem quite keen on partying.
Yeah.
Does anybody do any work around here?
Oh
Or is it
yes,
just one-
it's a holiday was declared upon the arrival of the stranger.
Right. What do you do, sir?
I am a carpenter.
Oh.
Okay.
What's the last thing you made?
A fine wardrobe.
Oh,
For the palace, no doubt. No less,
nice.
in fact. Rosewood, I recall.
Fancy.
Inlaid with sandal.
Anything else you want to show us in here that's particularly noteworthy? Don't seem to be many people around. I would have thought.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise you wanted
to.
to. I didn't realise you wanted to tour. I thought you were just wanted to see your friend.
Well, where is he?
Oh, this way. You don't want to tour then.
Well, just give us an overview.
Okay, so he starts to
Is there
wander off.
anything particularly
Interesting.
notable?
Well, he basically wanders off to the nearest pedestal that's got something on display and leans in close and starts reading off the like text on the bottom. Say, "Oh, this is a ring from the artisan district that was made a."
You're just reading it out.
Where he just turns around and shrugs it. Well, I don't work here.
I mean, we can all read.
Oh, well, that's all right then. And he turns around and walks back towards you. Shall we go and find your friend then?
Yeah. Let's carry on.
Yeah, let's go find him.
Okay, so you walk across this like I said, this vast auditorium. There's others running off to either side, probably about 3 or 4 on running off each side. And it takes you through an archway at the far end into a wide corridor that's lined with there's whistles hanging on hooks along this corridor. Whistles that look strangely familiar. Similar. This very similar. They're similar in design to the one that you have, but not identical. So the design of them is all different. Some of them depict a whole creature. Some of them depict just a head. Some of them are more abstract. But you can let's see. You can make an education roll, I guess.
Ooh, might actually pass that. No, I can't pass that.
Anybody can make it if you want. Pardon me.
Go on then. I'll make an education.
There's no penalty to failing.
Oh, Harry's passed. We're safe. Ah, there we go.
Okay, so
2 out of 3.
So yeah, these you can clearly identify the apparent origins of some of these. So one appears to be African in style. Another Italian. Another has indications it's of Indian origin. But then the styles and designs become less recognizable. So Nos is sort of carrying on, staggering ahead. He leaves this hallway and enters into another hallway at the far end.
Well,
Guess
let's
follow him.
Okay, right. So you follow Nos, and it leads you into another hallway that's lined with dozens of white robes that have been artfully arranged on wire mannequins. So each of them bears what appears to be the yellow sign, what you recognise as the yellow sign from the play. But the mannequins are arranged in such a way that the robes never fully the yellow sign on them is never fully visible. It's only just partially visible on each one. There's just half bit, a little, maybe an arm of this, maybe one corner of it, but it's never fully exposed.
Is it worth grabbing one to take with us?
Yeah.
I'll grab myself a robe, shove it in the bag.
Okay.
Does the yellow sign? It's that long ago, but it's not. It's not moving or anything.
No.
It's just no.
No.
Yeah. So let's get dressed up in fancy dress. We've got us masks and we've got us robes.
Let's do it.
Are you putting them on?
What, the robes?
I think so, because if I don't know, we'd blend in, I guess. Won't we, with
Is
everyone
Moss in a
else?
robe? How's Moss?
No, he's kind of dressed in kind of style of dress. Is kind of Greek, ancient Greek type.
Sort of like toga.
Yeah.
We'll blend in more in a robe, won't we? Instead of tweed suits or whatever we've got on. The carrying the shotguns and the pump action shotguns is going to kind of kill the disguise bit.
Yeah, but we can hide them under the robes.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's a nice loose robe.
Yeah. Pointy white hood.
I don't need one. I've got my black face mask.
So yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's what I meant to. Something I meant to ask actually, because I couldn't remember if everybody was wearing masks. The masks you found, or if you.
I'm not wearing it. I've just got it on top of my head.
Yeah.
Covering my baldness up.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so yeah, you have to run to catch up with Nos, who's not is oblivious to you stopping to dress up. And so you run to catch up, and leaving this hallway, it leads into like a sharp angled turn, kind of almost like 45 degrees back on itself. You know what I mean? Kind of like that.
Okay.
Yeah. And at the point, there's an alcove in which is another statue. That's full set of life size statue, and it's made out of clay, and the clay is still wet, and it looks like it's a work in progress. You can clearly see the finger marks of the artist that's been carving and molding this statue, and it as you're passing it, although it's still a work in progress, it looks suspiciously like Gerald.
That looks suspiciously like me.
I would have to agree with you. Have you been here before?
I wonder if we damaged it. It might damage Gerald.
Let's not experiment with that.
Shall I rip an ear off and see what happens?
You might could do.
Excuse me. Who's sculpting this?
Is it just Gerald? No, neither of the.
Just one statue. Like I say, it's not that the facial features aren't fully formed, and the whole thing's still a work in progress.
Neither are Gerald.
It's very suggestive of Gerald. So Nos sort of wanders back. I don't know. It peers down. There's no label.
Is it just his head?
No, it's a full
body.
Full body.
Is he wearing a robe?
No, he's completely naked.
Ooh.
So Gerald, you can probably identify. You can probably accurately
Gerald,
identify this. So yes, it is.
Gerald, it appears to be winter. It appears like a midget is slung in a bush.
Oh, my eyes.
So yeah, you're able to confirm details that no one else can confirm.
That is unlike a budgie's tongue.
Yeah, You'll be able to tell if it's you or not. Oh.
So it looks different from this angle. Well, I never. I would love to meet the sculptor.
Looks like you've been
Is it still
posing for them.
soft?
Yeah, it's still soft. Yeah, it's wet.
Yeah, he's not aroused.
Could he add to it?
Just roll a bit out.
25 kilos of clay.
It's not enough clay.
Gerald, and then do your own plaque. Gerald is living legend. Gerald the tripod.
No, that's more like plaque.
Gerald the man who couldn't tumble over.
Oh dear.
Moving on.
Yeah, just have to step over it.
I'll just shout out, "Hello, what about?"
So nothing. Like saying your voice just like drops, just is like cut off dead. There's no echo.
Still wet though. Somebody's been doing this.
Yeah, it's
Really
literally wet to the point there's like water. You can see droplets of water running down it.
Nos, any idea why this is still wet and where it's come from and who's done it?
Says, oh, we lost John.
He was thinking about Gerald.
Blacked out.
Yeah.
Kind of looks at you. As, no. It's, like I say, I don't work here.
Yeah, but
Do you know everything about where you live?
Absolutely.
Oh, then you.
If you ever come, we'll give you a tour.
I shall look forward to that.
Yeah.
Is there a caretaker or anybody that might know?
Well, if there is, they'll be on holiday. It's a national holiday. I did say that, didn't I?
Well, whoever's sculpting this clearly isn't on holiday because it's still wet.
Right, he touches it, and sticks it like maybe a bit too hard, digs his finger into it, puts a deep fingerprint
Hey!
into it.
That's my face.
Right,
He's improved it.
oh, so it is. He just shrugs.
Can I have a listen? Can I hear anybody?
Of course, you can have a
Other
listen. You can listen
silence?
anytime you wish. And you'll hear
Nothing.
nothing.
Shh, you two, stop talking.
Push now.
I'm quite perturbed, to be fair.
Yeah. It's a strange one that it just happens to be you, Gerald. There's nothing of anyone else.
No, it's just one single statue. No other statue, just that one.
And everyone knows that physical representations of people have power.
Yeah. Well,
I'll say a cultist speaking.
do you think how many people do you think have seen this? I'm just thinking, is there going to be questions about you that if people have seen this as we're
Probably nobody because it's brand new.
true? What do we do with it? Do we leave it,
I'm wondering if we should
or do we dismantle it?
render it back to the clay from which it came.
I would suggest so. Well, he stuck his thumb in it. It had no effect. Nothing happened. What about if you remove a piece of it?
I'm just going to try and bend one of the little
But-
fingers.
Yeah.
Okay, so you bend one of the fingers and bend it back. You bend it so far back that it eventually tears off.
And I
At
feel
no
fine.
detriment. Yes, at no detriment to yourself. Apart from perhaps a
can I-
small pang of guilt for defacing this fine work of art.
Can I roll it back into a ball of clay,
Yeah,
or is it?
yeah,
Has
no,
it got an armature underneath?
no, you can do that.
I'm torn over whether to destroy it or not.
Well, why don't you remove a bit more? It's like pull the hand off.
Why don't you remove a bit more from your statue? You haven't got one.
Exactly. So I grab a handful of Gerald's hand clay and pull it.
Okay, so
Easy.
so it takes a bit of effort, but yeah, you eventually just tear it away. It comes away in pieces because, like as Gerald
Yeah,
said,
it's a bit leathery.
there is like some sort of wire mesh or something beneath it that gives it that it's
See?
built on.
Nothing.
And Nos is that.
Perfectly fine.
I don't think you should be doing that. Really, I mean that's a bit disrespectful, isn't it?
Well, if it's is it though, Nos? Because if it's a
Well,
model
I would
of
like to think that
Gerald-
was one of my cabinets.
Yeah, but it's a model of Gerald, so surely he
Is it?
owns the rights to his likeness. Would he not?
Well, I don't know. Is it him?
Well, yeah. I mean, if
Or
you
somebody
might-
very similar.
yeah.
Again, he just shrugs and says, "Well, my glass is getting dry. Are you ready to move
Well,
on?"
let's carry on then.
Okay.
I'll just sign the back.
Onwards.
I mean, so what's happened with John? No message anywhere. This is because it doesn't look like he's dropped off. It looks like he just turned his camera.
He's still on. I think he's just turned his camera and microphone off.
Yeah. Hopefully,
It's
everything's okay. Do you want to leave it 5 minutes, or do you wish to continue?
We can leave it 5.
Yeah. Shall we have a
Sure.
5-minute break? Give John
Yeah.
a chance to come back.
Cool.
Okay. Right. So yeah, we're going to take a short break.
Alrighty then.
See you in a couple.
Yep.
Hello. Hello. Who is it?
No.
Right. Okay. Oh, there we go. All okay, John?
Not really, but let's carry on.
Oh, okay. Well, just say if you need to stop.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Let's move on then. So, Nos. I'm echoing back off somebody. Somebody got it turned on something.
Don't think so.
No.
It's not terrible, but anyway. Okay, so Nos leads you. Once you're finished with the statue, he leads you on down this corridor, and after passing a few more nondescript galleries, you find yourself in what looks like a study area. And there, asleep at a desk with a back to you, is a man with pale blonde hair.
Maybe this is the sculptor.
As you speak, they appear to hear and sit up with a start, and turn round, and it's Alexander.
Shoot him.
Alexander.
Does he recognise us?
How the devil?
Right. So he looks a little alarmed at first, then confused, and then what looks like recognition crossed his face. It's Dr. Bancroft, Mr. Astor, and Mr. Black.
How are we doing, Alexander?
I'm well, and yourselves?
You're great.
A little perturbed.
Is he alarmed because we're all carrying guns and we're probably all pointing them at him?
It doesn't. It seems oblivious, to be honest. If it perhaps looks a little bit tired, but very composed, and Harry, you can detect instantly detect a massive difference in his composure, in his personality. He's clearly not medicated, and he seems very lucid.
Unlike when we visited him in.
Yeah, totally unlike the man that you met in the asylum. So I imagine you are a little perturbed, Mr. Black.
Do you know who was responsible for that sculpture?
They've got some of the features wrong.
Certainly.
It's a little big.
It's not to scale.
Says, I'm sorry, which sculpture are you referring to? This museum has hundreds, if not thousands.
The one, for want of a better word, me.
I'm sorry, Mr. Black. I'm afraid I haven't noticed that one. I didn't come here to.
It appears to be brand.
Oh, well, I suppose there are ongoing works.
What did you come here for, Alexander?
A rest. I'm tired. The exertion has been a little much.
A rest?
Yes.
What?
We were told you were performing something. You had to do something within a set amount of time. I think it was 10 days. We're actually interested in where your friend Edwards is. Is he here? Is he here in this building?
I don't believe so. I think he might be. I think he's at the palace. At least that's where I left him.
So is your work finished now?
I just need some rest. It's I've done what I set out to do.
Which was what?
What do you
Which was what?
to bring Carcosa here to Earth,
And why
The-
would you want to do that?
so that when it returns, I will return with it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
how are you finding the city?
Strange.
Yeah, strange. That's a very good word.
It nothing seems. It doesn't work like a normal city. It
It
seems to be.
the city preys upon an unfocused mind.
Oh,
Good job. I have razor sharp focus.
But don't let that alarm you. I can assure it's quite safe here. And the stranger, although the stranger is here, he will never reach the palace to herald the arrival of the Tattered King.
So what is Edwards doing at the palace?
I don't know. I left him after we finished the ritual. I presume he's enjoying the sights of the city.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think he said he had 3 days or 4 days to perform his part. What would he mean by that? What does he intend?
For his part, I'm not sure.
Have you happened to have seen these big barrage balloon-like creatures flying around?
Barash. He looks a bit perplexed. As,
Like jellyfish.
like a jellyfish.
Massive jellyfish floating in the sky.
Is that your doing or is that Edwards doing?
1 second.
They're not just here. We have seen them here, haven't we? Or have we? Don't think we have we?
No.
They're actually in. They're in Scotland.
You saw them round the lake. Didn't there? There was one
across
sort
the
of.
forest. Yeah.
Pardon me. It kind of moored itself
So
to one of the
they've already
monoliths.
come.
What about star steeds?
I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean, Dr. Bancroft. But I'd be most interested to hear what you think of this place. After Highsmith had me locked up in there, thinking all this was delusion. As you can see, it's clearly not.
I don't rate him as a professional. I think he needs to look elsewhere for a job.
Oh, I have no ill feelings toward the man. Who just misguided, perhaps.
He seemed okay with your friend being able to get to you and control you.
Control me?
Yes, that's the impression I got, that Edwards is controlling you, using you.
Mr. Edwards Montague was assisting me. We were working towards a common goal to bring Carcosa to Earth.
So what
revel
is
in
he
its
doing?
majesty.
What is he doing at the palace? How come you don't know what he's doing at the palace? What was it in? It was something about him, Alexander, doing something for 10 days, and then where did we read that?
Was it in one of the letters?
That was. Was it from? What's his name?
That guy was sending us letters.
Yeah,
I just don't think Alexander really has got a Scooby. Is what's going on?
No, he's just been used.
Just been used.
So yeah, you can. If
he
you want,
thinks he's more important than he is.
might be worth going back and checking some of your stuff that you've gathered.
He's a dreamer, isn't he? A poet. Whereas Edwards is definitely up to no good.
But Greste.
So while you're able to talk better than you were able to at the asylum, with nobody controlling you, did you kill your father and your sister?
Right, his face darkens and says, "If you'll forgive me, Dr. Bancroft, but I have no wish to discuss any part of my life before this moment. I've come, I've brought Carcosa to Earth so that I may begin anew."
So if you weren't responsible, if you don't want to answer that question, was Edwards responsible for murdering your father and your sister?
He doesn't answer.
Oh, for God's sake, man, you're a difficult one, aren't you?
So is it you that's made this happen, or is it Edwards that's made this happen?
I have brought it's my life's work.
Why?
I constructed the ritual.
Why do you want to bring it to Earth?
Because Carcosa is a place of beauty, a place of peace and serenity, where the only place in existence where I may know peace and
Why would
quiet.
you only know peace here?
It called to me.
Carcosa called to you?
I first read about it in the story, the play. When the Hyades is in ascent during the winter months, it calls out to me. It calls out to everybody.
What do you know about Hastur?
Hastur?
Hmm.
I wouldn't worry yourself of Hastur.
No?
Hastur is says although Carcosa owes a part of its existence, its character, its being to Hastur, think of Hastur as is like the darkness that throws the light into perfect relief, a natural coexistence.
Would you say he has an opposite?
I would say the Carcosa is his opposite. As I say, Carcosa is the dark is a light to Hastur's darkness.
Do we? I presume we've got the letters on us and things.
Yeah.
So right, I need to read this to you. This is, I don't know if you know this person, a Wilfred Gresty. He told us to kill somebody you know, a Mr. Bacon, who is now deceased. And I won't read the first bit. The bit I'm interested in. At the end of the letter, this Mr. Gresty, does he recognise the name Wilfred Gresty?
Says I know Mr. Gresty.
So he says in his letter, Edwards needs Mr. Roby, and if he gets him there, if he gets him there, will be held to pay. Worse, I think, for hell is a weak imagining. You must stop that. Edwards will call on me too. He needs me. I will not answer. Rather, I will call on the British gods, and they will guard the best of their servants. So what is Edwards doing? Edwards is doing something, and you don't know what he's doing, it seems to me. And I've looked through the handouts. I can't see that thing about the 10 days and the 4 days.
I've just had a look.
That was what what's it in the asylum said.
Oh, the crazy man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he told him, didn't he, what he was intending to do? Yeah. So I can't remember word for word, but I'll repeat what crazy man said. So what is he doing in these 4 days at the palace? if he brings Hastur or whatever it's called here, what would happen? Would Hastur destroy everything?
Hastur? Edwards seeks to bring Hastur here.
I don't know. We don't know.
We're a little bit out of his depth here,
We
Alexander.
thought you might know, but I
Yeah.
don't think you
Right,
know.
he
do you?
goes, so he
That's what Gresty.
It just turns away and sort of wanders about the room, mumbling to himself. Seems oblivious. Seems not to hear what you're saying anymore.
Yay, we've lost him again.
And then he turns
He's
to
a little
us
bit.
with like a thoughtful look on his face. Says, "Quarry said that too. Edwards is foolish. I thought he'd dismiss this idea. He thought he could call the King in Yellow to Earth. If Edwards was to bring Hastur here to Carcosa, he would not arrive as the King in Yellow. He would be in a form that had no meaning to Earth, no rationality. We're still on Earth, you know.
But would he be able to bring? Oh, we're on Earth.
Sorry,
here.
we're on Earth.
Earth, yes.
So if he
Carcosa.
does,
I brought Carcosa here to Earth. If Edwards summons, he's using Carcosa to communicate with Hastur. If Edwards brings Hastur here, he thinks to bring the King in Yellow, but he'll bring Hastur himself, and he will destroy everyone in Carcosa, and
does he
Edwards
know what
too.
He's doing, or is he misguided? Or is it his intention to bring this thing to Earth?
He thinks to petition the king, but the king will not answer. It will be Hastur in all his glory and might that he summons.
So, $1 million question.
He's misguided. And he's misled me.
Stop him?
And he sort of he starts wandering off and mumbling to himself. He's misled me. Why would he do this? He turns to him. Why would he do this?
Because he knows that you would try and stop him. Will you help us? Is the question.
Right, he seems like stops for a moment, says, and then like a look of resolve comes across his face. I shall speak to him. He'll be at the palace, and he picks up his jacket.
Do you know
He picks up his jacket and just strides off towards the far exit of the room.
Follow him. Don't let him out of our sight.
Where's Nos gone? Is he still hanging around?
He's asleep in a corner.
I think Nos is now
spent.
Served his purpose.
We've got a new guide.
You can wake him up if you want. But yeah, Nos has just got bored and fallen asleep in a corner.
Yeah, I don't think we can waste time.
Yeah, if we fail, he can die.
If we lose Alex, I think we'll never see him again.
No.
Okay.
So you need to take us to the palace, and we need.
So Alex just like strides off ahead of you, muttering to himself.
Let's stride with him.
Yeah.
Let's stride.
Okay, so you follow after Alex as he walks with like a determined pace, leading you downhill through residential streets. Every so often you catch sight of the black mirror-like surface of the lake, and every time you catch sight of it, it's that little bit closer. Till the path that he's following leads you to the water's edge, and on the far shore you can see the bright lights of the palace beneath the twin suns in the night sky, with the black stars twinkling above it.
This whole black star business is doing my head in.
It's messing with my chi.
I don't like it.
Right, Alex looks about. It says the palace can only be reached by crossing the water.
Do we have a boat? I don't fancy swimming.
And he looks around and points out there's a jetty with a series of like small sailboats. about a dozen tied to the jetty.
This might bring flashbacks for you, Charles, being
I know. I'll keep me
on
down.
the river on a sailboat.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Pleasant boat.
Alex just sets off. He doesn't wait for a response. He just sets off over to this jetty.
Kareem is like a man of action now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Let's
You follow him?
Follow him.
Clearly, black skies with black stars and black suns agrees with him.
Okay, so yeah, you quickly make it over to this jetty with these, like I said, there's about half a dozen of these small craft, all uniform, all like built exactly the same, all uniformly built from a polished hardwood, narrow in beam and they got high bows and sterns with a single tall mast with a furled pale yellow canvas sail. Charles, these boats look eerily familiar.
Yeah, I do believe I've been in one of these before. Maybe in my
a
dreams.
dream.
I do believe so.
Just don't start dancing, whatever you do.
No, I would say they're quite sturdy, from if they're anything like what I recall.
Okay, so each of them looks to have provision for about 2 or 3 pairs of oars, but as well as the sail. And could quite easily fit 10 people in them. But they're quite narrow.
Alexander, how many people does Edwards have with him at the palace?
Dozens. They need. We needed as many as possible to perform the ritual, to build Carcosa.
And are these all people that are part of your? Was it a society that? I can't remember the guy's name. We met a man on a train that he was coming, but he was running late. Have you recruited lots of people to help?
So I don't know the full extent of it. I wasn't. But yes, there are many members of the society of different levels of. Not all were privy to the inner circle, but most had experienced or witnessed something. Bacon had an association with some creatures.
We met them.
They would sometimes present to members.
Sweetmeats.
As well as a bayaki.
Yeah.
A what?
A bayaki. Starseed steeds.
That's easy for you. A flying horse. Flying horse.
Like kind of
Gerald's favourite.
He's climbing at this point. He's climbing into the carefully climbing into the boat, one of the boats, and it rocks violently as he steps into it. It looks like it's easily unbalanced. This is I suppose so. I've never really thought about it. I suppose they do have a vaguely horse-like appearance to them.
What do you know about them?
They are servants of Hastur. Messengers. Steeds.
What would you say the message is?
Get off my land.
They are messengers. Whatever messages they are sent to carry, I suppose.
Steeds, you can ride them like a horse then.
I mean, we have met one of these before in not so friendly circumstances.
We could some back at the sculpture place. We could ride them across to the palace.
I would not advise it. I bound those creatures there.
You did what?
I bound those creatures there.
They're your creatures.
So not mine. I called them and bound them. But
Can you remove them?
they, unless interfered with, they won't cause any harm.
One of them
I'm not-
definitely looked
well-
at me.
Well, I mean, you said unless they're interfered with. We didn't interfere with one, and we've seen them cause harm.
Yeah, we have a farmer that would probably argue that point, apart from his dead.
Right. So now, so Alexander is in the boat and he's like,
Get in
undoing the
boat,
rope.
I guess.
Yeah.
3 sets of oars. I'll watch the sail.
Okay. So
Outboard motor.
I will let you. If you make a luck roll, I will let you. One of you have some minor experience with piloting a
Messing
sailboat.
about in boats.
Yeah.
I guess that's going to be me then.
Oh wow.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
Not
Charles
just you.
straight in there.
So yeah. So we only need one person. So yeah, we'll take it. Charles has some, for whatever reason, has some history with sailors. I mean boats.
I'm quite nautical. I have money. I've sailed the Thames.
So let's say you've got a 20% skill in sailing, piloting a sailboat.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Just enough to be able to sail as long as nothing untoward happens.
Yes, indeed. So you all board these one of these rosewood boats, and or push it out from the jetty with one of the oars. And well, are you rowing or are you taking advantage of Charles' expertise?
Take
I mean,
advantage of Charles.
Whoa. Let's go steady on the expertise. I've got.
Oh, while you decide that, I'm just going to let the Mr. Three Legs out of the room.
Oh,
That sounds like a mythos creature, doesn't it?
it does, yeah.
Mr. Three Legs.
Definitely want to keep that out of the room.
Oh no, that's Gerald's name, isn't it?
Yeah, that's him. The tripod.
With my reputation.
Well, we'll be able to make short work of all these friends of Edward's. We'll just mow them down with the Lewis guns.
Yeah,
Use a bit of dynamite on the rest.
That's it.
Job sorted.
we're fine.
I think we're going to struggle.
So, are you rowing or sailing?
Rowan.
Rowing?
Yeah.
Okay, so once you're out on the lake, it seems much bigger. It's almost as if once you get a certain distance from the shore, it's almost as if it's the distances stretch out before you, and the palace and the shore behind you seems much further away than it at first did. And you think it'll take to row across. It'll easily take a couple of hours.
Oh dear.
So by sail, maybe half that.
All right then, we'll crank the sails up now. It's looking a bit bigger. I'm not so keen.
Okay. So
Do we see any other boats?
No.
All partying.
indeed. So I have just deafened Andy,
I'll unfurl the sails and
so he can't hear me.
start
Um,
making preparations.
so I am going to deafen you two in a second, and then
Oh, good.
I shall undeafen you in a moment.
I've lost sound.
Oh, this isn't good.
No, you haven't, Andy. I just muted, deafened you, so you couldn't hear what I was saying.
I can't hear you. I'm deaf.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so yeah, you unfurl the sail and set out across the boat sets out across the lake. And as you sit on the bow of the boat, on this this polished, this little polish, a little vessel of polished wood with its pale yellow sail. It moves, it glides gently across the lake in front of the breeze that you've skillfully hooked with the sail. And you look down into the water, past where your hand's trailing, disturbing the surface. This surface that's spirit thick and grey, and you think for a moment you spot some movement. You pull your hand up, and a mottled shape balloons past you, not far below, and then another. You see huge marine creatures, and up ahead the water slaps. The white and yellow back of one of these things clears the surface for a moment, then dives. You see it coming. Still, it's coming right at you, bigger and bigger, and it rears out the water fully now, looming above the boat like a cliff. You won't wait for it though. You stand and you step off into the water, falling. You hit the water, eyes closed. And I shall be deafening you.
Oh.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay,
That wasn't suspicious at all.
So you're about half an hour into the journey, and you can both make a power roll.
Do we need to kill Charles?
It sounds like it.
I'm sorry, Andy. A power roll. I've got loads of that.
So I need a hard success from you.
Oh. Good.
Regular hard. 65.
Okay.
30. Can't do it. Can't even
Okay.
spend my luck to do it.
Is that something that one can push?
No, I wouldn't say so. No, because it's kind of a subconscious thing.
So is Andy rowing?
He's guiding the sail.
He's guiding the sail. So is he doing? Does he look to be doing a good job?
Yeah. Catching the wind. The boat's like sliding, slipping fast across the surface of the lake.
We probably are keeping an eye on him because we know he's dreamt about being on a boat. Does he? He's not turned green, has he?
Nope.
He seems to be doing a bang-up job. We might as well don't like a fishing rod or anything on here, is there?
And what's Alexander doing? Apart from leading us to our untimely death.
Well, yeah, that was
So you can make a spot hidden.
I'm good at that. I am. Oh, not that good.
Okay, that's good enough. So, that's Harry. That's not good enough. Maybe the sail gets wrapped around your head as you're looking out. So Gerald, you see that something breaks the surface of the water, and then slips beneath the surface again, maybe about 100 yards away, ahead of the boat.
Quick, look for that fishing rod. Must be one.
Harry, it's the screaming eels.
Oh, sorry, I can't see. This sails in my face. I just can't see.
Okay, then
I'll
Well-
nudge Harry and point to where I saw it.
okay,
No.
right. So you look at right. There's nothing there. It's all quiet. The surface is like mirror smooth again. And
Look, what's
then
some large creature?
Like a dolphin.
Yeah.
And then you both see long tentacles break the surface, agitating and frothing the water in front of a smoothed dome mass that rises up from the deep.
Or a giant
it's-
squid.
And it's heading straight towards the boat, about 40 yards away. Charles makes no attempt to avoid it. It's 30 yards away,
Shoot it.
20 yards away. You're going to shoot it?
Yeah.
Okay. What's Harry doing?
I'm going to run to the other end of the boat. Not that's going to do anything.
Right,
Has it
Alex
totally
called
come
out,
out
it is
of
a
the
spawn of Hastur! Charles calmly walks to the front of the boat and steps off.
Oh dear. You've gone for a swim? That's probably the best thing to do. How close are we to the shore?
It's still, you've only been going half an hour, it's at least another half hour. You're about halfway across.
Stupid boy. I'll is there any rope on the I would imagine there'll be.
Oh, there will be for time. There is for
There's
time.
the rope for tying the boat up.
Can I see him in the water?
Do you want to do it? So anyway, let me see. So you're gonna do that. You will get. Did you say you're getting good out?
Oh, are we rolling for sanity for seeing it?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay.
It's a giant squid. Don't need to roll for sanity. I'm going to shoot it.
Yeah, that is true. It is just a giant squid.
So you can take a shot if you want. It's 20 yards away. It's closing on the boat fast.
Cool. So
it's coming
close
right
range.
for us.
So Harry, you just catch sight of Charles beneath the water as the boat slowly glides past. The sails become tangled now. He's not driving, not piloting the boat.
Oh, I can't let him die like that. It needs to be my own hand. Can I?
Want to roll a shot, Gerald?
Yeah.
I don't know whether to tie the rope to me and then jump in or just jump in.
Okay, so yeah, the shot, just there's a splash as the shot hits the water. This bulk is about 10 yards away, and then it glides beneath the surface.
Oh, panic over.
Not for Charles.
But you can see it beneath the water, and it heads straight towards heading straight towards the boat. As it passes underneath it, the sudden swell caused the boat to violently tip, almost capsizing. What you gonna do? Got 5 seconds to say what you're gonna do. 1,
Just
2,
grab hold of the
3,
mast
4,
or something nice and solid.
5.
I'll jump in the water after.
Okay.
After Charles.
Right. So Alexander desperately grabs hold of the side of the boat. Gerald, you grab hold of the mast. Harry, you jump over the side. Right. So briefly, you're submerged under the water, and you can make a luck roll. And Charles, you can also make a luck roll at this point as you suddenly come to your senses and find yourself. You can see the water, the glimmer of the light hitting the surface of the water above you.
Have it.
Okay, so you managed to come to your senses before you start, just as you were about to inhale the water. Okay, so Harry, you will have to make a swim check, otherwise you will start to. You don't manage to make it to the surface, so you have to make a swim check.
I like the idea of me doing a belly flop. Knocking myself out, really. Con. Did you say con?
Swim. Gerald, you can make a dex roll, but with a bonus dice since you grabbed hold of the mast.
So totally failed on the swim.
Okay.
You know what's dragging me down? It's that 6 foot of chain. and the double barrel shotgun.
Okay, so Alex, as the boat tips, Alex is thrown over, falls over the side and disappears beneath the water. So Charles, you can see, as you come into your senses, you're struggling back up to the surface. You see Harry hit it like in the water and sink it. Like it's trying to swim to the surface, but it's sinking.
Uh,
I'm like Houdini with chain.
can I grab him?
You can try and grab him. Yeah, you can give us a either a swim or a dex. Probably going to be a dex, I imagine.
Definitely.
Okay, so you sort of like turn and swim down a little bit and manage to grab hold of his of Harry's arm. So you can both make swim. So you can make a swim roll. You can Harry. You can do it with a. You can do it with a bonus dice because you just kind of kick into the surface anyway. Gerald. So yeah, the boat rocks violently, almost tipping completely over.
No, I ain't swimming very well.
Well, I can spend 5 luck.
Okay.
I forgot to say I can't swim.
Did you roll that with a bonus dice?
That
You did.
was
You
with a
did, yeah.
bonus dice, yeah.
I've spent 5 luck.
Okay. Right, so you
24 points on
burst to the
luck, not
surface. We're glancing back. You can see Harry's struggling. So Harry, you'll have to make a Constitution check to avoid.
I've got this. Well, this is where my secret comes into play. That I am actually a deep one. And I've got hidden gills beneath.
Can I throw him a rope?
Yeah, you can throw him a rope if you want. Yeah.
Throw in my chain. You can do this, Harry. Oh, 1 point out. Can I spend a point of luck?
You can, of course you can. Okay, so yeah, your lungs are like on fire, like bursting, trying to hold your breath. So Gerald throws a rope into the water. It lands between where you and Charles are, where Harry and Charles is.
Where is the squid-stroke jellyfish? Do we see that anymore?
You don't see that. The water's like black.
I presume I've got no chance of seeing Alexander, but
no.
Does Gerald see him anywhere? And he's in the water, isn't he?
Alexander's went in the water, yeah.
Went in the water.
So what's Charles doing? So this rope splashes into the water between you and Harry.
I've still got older Harry. Or are we separated?
You're kind of separated, yeah.
I'm going to swim for the rope then.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you easily you swim the short distance and desperately grab hold of the rope. Harry, you can make another swim roll, I guess.
Or not, as the case may be. This is where you think, oh, maybe I should have put some points in swim. I could do this. I'll spend 6 luck.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Okay, right. So yeah,
I'll haul him in.
gasping, you break the surface, and Gerald hauls you back to the boat. So as you're pulling them back in, Alexander burst pops up at the side and is hanging on to the side of the boat. Says, would you mind to give me a hand, please?
Yeah, I'll hold these 2 in, and then haul Alex in.
Okay.
A giant squid common round here. I thought they were more tropical.
Since that was a spawn of Hastur, this must be Edward's doing.
A spawn of?
Do we recognise it as the things that were flying around over the forest?
Yeah, it is identical. It looks. You only got so you didn't see much of it, but it looked. It was very suggestive of that. Luckily, you didn't see enough of it to be sure.
So we'll say that's what we sighted, one of those flying in the sky.
Yes,
in Scotland.
Right, as you clamber back onto the boat, there's there's a sudden surge of water behind you, maybe a good 100 yards, and this huge shape breaks the surface, and then as it kind of arcs and submerges again.
Do we know what it is?
So it depends if you want to look.
No. I'm more interested in getting the water out of my lungs.
I think we need to get moving.
Yeah.
Fire up that outboard motor.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's on floor over there, isn't it? We've got to attach it.
Along with that can of petrol.
Okay.
What we like.
Whip the slaves into life. All 100 of them.
You bang the drum.
Ban her.
Row! Row!
Okay. So, Charles, you get the boat going again. Unfurl the sail, catch the wind, send the boat skidding across the surface of the lake. About halfway there, so Alexander sits in complete silence for the rest of the way.
Well, can I unsilence him?
You can try.
What does this all mean? What can we do? How do we stop Edwards? As he summoned he summoned those creatures.
Right.
Like you.
He turns to you, says, I see what's happening. I understand now.
Oh, I'm glad somebody does.
Edwards is using, as I suspected, Carcosa to speak to Hastur.
Ship ahoy.
He thinks it's just like the play. The stranger is in the palace, and so he can call the king in yellow, but he's wrong. He'll bring Hastur himself. Hastur won't bargain with him. He won't even notice Edwards. But what will Hastur do with Carcosa?
What is Hastur? I don't think I have read the King in Yellow, didn't I? The very first book.
Yeah, so
the
King in Yellow is a manifestation of Hastur.
But does it say what Hastur is? Would I know it's like a god or a great old one?
So I think it refers to as a god or an alien entity. Yeah,
alien entity. Do you think you could? I mean, I don't think you can. But do you think you'd be able to reason with Edwards to stop what he's doing?
Since I can try, I must talk to him. And as he says this, the boat bumps up against the shore below the palace that towers above you. This huge, just massive structure just seems to cut. It seems to stretch out almost covering the same amount of the shoreline as the city on the opposite shore behind you. It's the spawn. They are heralds to Hastur's arrival.
Heralds?
With each telling of the play, with each telling of and each calling of one of Hastur's heralds, it brings Hastur closer to Earth. He will turn and he will listen and he will answer. And Alex sets off again.
Well, that's probably not a great idea.
No.
Well, did we get an answer from him about whether he could stop Edwards? I think we need to get after him.
Well, he says he's going to try and talk to him. I can't see that working.
Talking to him is not going to achieve anything.
Right, so you follow.
Go on.
We'll follow him anyway. Yeah.
We
Okay,
can talk to him.
Yeah,
So
with shotguns.
you follow Alex up the
Well,
steep sets of marble steps that run up from this grand jetty, this pier, and lead up to an entrance to into the palace. You can see that almost the whole building's completely aglow. There's lights everywhere, and you can clearly hear the sounds of revelry that seems to come from everywhere about the palace. And as Alexander leads you in through the entrance, you pass along marble floored corridors hung with portraits of people that look strangely familiar to the cast from the play. You pass through receiving rooms and great banquet halls, across small gardens, high cold chapels. The place seems vast and endless. So as you're hurrying along, Alex turns almost out of breath and says, "We must head to the terrace. That is where we perform the summoning. Where we called down Carcosa. That will be where Edwards is.
Okay, lead the way, mate.
It's the centre of the house."
Onwards.
And as he turns, you can hear him muttering to himself under his breath. So you pass through a large, opulent chamber. Looks like a feasting hall or some kind. And there's clearly been a party here very recently. There's food and drink everywhere. Some of it are still set out on the tables. Much of it scattered across the floor. There's candelabras and huge crystal candelabras hanging from the ceiling with there's just massive. Some of them look almost like the size of a small house. And everywhere are discarded masks and discarded clothes.
Oh,
really? Didn't realise it was that kind of party.
Is there a fruit ball in the middle?
There is a fruit. There's probably several fruit bowls.
Bit of pampas grass.
So, and you can clearly hear people now, laughing and giggling and sound of revelers. And on occasion, you catch brief sight of partygoers at the other side of a large room or crossing across the end of the corridor. Some of them are half naked, some of them are completely naked as they hurry past alone in groups, grappling grappling and twisting around each other as they go.
Oh.
There's even more to like about this city.
So,
like Rome.
It's at this point where you're struggling. This is kind of distracting, unsurprisingly. But you almost to the point that you almost lose sight of Alexander as he disappears through a door at the far side of the hallway. And also, it's at this point that you hear a woman's scream that is suddenly cut off short.
Can we see where it's come from?
So, glancing off to your right down a side passageway, you see a woman slump into the passageway from a doorway, and out the doorway, wiping a switchblade on his jacket, is Coombs.
Hey.
Yes, let's eradicate Combs.
So
Alex, need to chase after Alex.
Damn it!
I'll chase after Alex. You two can deal with Coombs.
No, I think Alex is.
He don't like me.
Alex is the important. Well, Edwards is the important one.
Yeah.
Right. He sees you. And he doesn't flinch. Doesn't seem surprised, and he tips his flat cap at you, and just saunters off down the corridor.
Just wave at him.
Like,
yeah, keep moving.
Bolt after
Alex.
I take it as he just murdered somebody with his knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Just for laugh.
These are sex people, Lynn.
Okay, so you're struggling to catch up with Alexander now. He's picked up the pace, and as you head through the doorway that he disappeared from, you just catch sight of him turning down as another side corridor.
Speed up. Leg it after him.
So as you're running
We'll
after
knock
him,
people out of way.
you hear footsteps coming in towards you, coming down a side passage to your right.
Can we
Prepare
see who it is?
shotguns.
You can't see who it is at the
Okay.
moment, no. So you're running down this hallway towards the corner down the left-hand side where Alex has disappeared, and as you're running down, there's a corridor coming up on your right, and you can hear footsteps running towards you from this corridor
just
ahead.
Make sure I'm running along the far wall from where the corridor is going to meet, so we don't end up doing a comedy running into each other.
Okay. So as you reach the corner, you avoid narrowly due to being taking that preemptive action. You avoid colliding with a young woman who comes running round the corner, and she sees you, and sort of in surprise she stumbles and trips and falls to the floor with a cry. She kind of picks herself up, and she looks clearly terrified, and she looks like she's probably going to bolt.
Sorry, love.
Damsel in distress. See you later. We've got a job to do.
Yeah. Out of the way, woman.
I can't get sidetracked again.
I'll let your heads fast talk, Jill, for your eloquently sorry, love.
As he drives a shotgun into her stomach. Bosh! Tosses her aside.
Treads on her to get past her.
Yeah.
I think we need to keep after Alex.
Yeah.
All of this is just to try and.
This is all useless stuff. Keep going.
Okay, she's picking herself up. Charles, you spot somebody down the far end of the corridor that she's just run from, and she slowly turns, like obviously like unsure about who you are, and she turns to run to start to head back down that corridor. And as you look, you see this figure down the far end, and it's Coombs.
Oh, he's getting about.
He is. You want to go that way?
Yeah, I'd run away from him. He's a psycho murderer.
So you can make a fast talk roll. Otherwise, she's gonna ignore you. She's gonna run straight down there towards him.
I wouldn't run that way, dear. I would run the opposite way. He's a little bit psycho killer.
Oh my God! Thank you. And she like just grabs hold of your arm and just like pulls you along and runs along with you.
Yeah.
So
fine. That's
as she fell onto the floor, the lacquered red imp mask that she was wearing fell from her face. It kind of hit the floor and cracked a little bit. But when she sees that none of you are wearing, well, not fully wearing your masks, she just kind of she copies you. She's like
Put some on her head.
tilts it back onto the top of her head. So she's looks like she's wearing like the clothes she's wearing are quite expensive. She's wearing this red silk gown, and red shoes, and her wrists and throat are these cascading bracelets and necklace of like rubies that glitters and shines. Almost looks like cascading blood coming from her wrist and her neck.
Nice.
Eat the rich.
So she's stunningly beautiful, to the point that, Charles, that when you get a moment to get a proper look at her, you stop dead in your tracks, almost bewitched.
Has she got a dodgy eye like Dealey?
Slightly.
Yeah, yes, dear, we need to talk further. But
There you go. That's what she looks like.
She can come with us.
yeah,
She says,
Don't get in our way.
"My name is Yolanda, and what is yours, my charming knight?"
I'm Charles the Great.
And great you are, sir. Great you are.
Indeed.
There's nobody.
I shall
I'll
be
go
sure not
please
to
for that.
not to stray more than an arm's length from you.
Never. I would never stray more than arm's length from myself.
There wasn't anybody in the play with that name, was there?
No.
I just gotta go and let Cat out.
So, like I say,
Yeah,
she's incredibly attractive. She's got like pale skin, green eyes, long dark hair, and like I say, she's dressed in jewels and this expensive long silk gown. And yeah,
I bet
she
she's not.
she
I bet
just
it's some sort of
she just
star.
oozes compliments and she almost it seems to know like just the right thing to say to you to get to bring a blush to your cheek.
Oh. Yeah, dear, you may come in. You may offer some use to us. I'll tell you later.
Says, and who? Where do you hail from, fair knight?
Hush, dear. we have important work to do.
Come on, quickly. Quit chatting her up.
Yes, we must. There are strange things afoot. The stranger has come to your till, and there was a party, a revelling. Did you miss it?
Oh, yes, we did.
So I wasn't sure with you being unmasked. All those who attended the party be unmasked at the appointed hour when Queen Casilda called upon them. But the stranger, when the Queen ordered him to follow suit, he did not, because the mask was his face, a pallid mask. Now a curse is here on your till, which surely will become Carcosa.
Yes, and we're here to stop that.
You are indeed a knight of much honour.
Oh, we are gonna get on great.
Right, so at this, hearing her words, Roby Alexander stops in his tracks, and he appears agitated. This is worse than I suspected. The time may be closer than I thought. We should hurry. And he sets off to run again, then stops, and he turns to you all and looks, like just locks eyes with each of you, and pauses for a moment, and says, "There is something important I should say.
Say it.
Remember,
man.
do not forget these words. You wish to prevent the arrival of Hastur, do you not?
Yes.
Do you remember the verses of Casilda's song? Remember, Doctor? I told you them in the cell. Stars and the suns."
Yeah.
And he
Yes, I took notes. They're in my pocket. Oh, they're a bit soggy.
and he says, "Remember these words." And he for a moment he like raises his voice and he sings the verses. "Stars that burn, their charcoal death shrink back. They feel the hoary breath of he who ransoms great Carcosa. He flees where queen and prophet met, where twin sun fall but never set, escapes the tomb of lost Carcosa. Do not forget these words. Look at what men can do. Look at what Edwards is doing now. You must not trust Quarry to do so. Remember those words. If it is you, yourself, that must lead the king astray."
Okay.
Right, he pauses a moment again and says, "If we become separated, look for the English garden."
Okay.
And then he turns, pauses again briefly, and then as if he's going to say something else, and then thinks otherwise and sets off.
Well, we'll carry on with him.
Okay, so as you're carrying on, even though she's even though you're running and she's almost out of breath, Yolanda is like keen to hear your story, and she's constantly asking you questions about your background and where you come from and your family, and if you were if you belong to if you have a wife or a sweetheart.
No.
A man of few words.
Yes, I'm just
No.
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 Okay. Right, so
I'm just when I look at her, I'm just like I see something that I just it can't get his words out. Is Charles's heartbeat goes up like every time he glances at his heart rate steps up 50 beats a minute. It's like, I can't. No, he has to turn away. He's so mesmerized by her eyes. He's pulled in.
So, Harry, you can make a psychology roll as well as you're listening to this as you're pounding along down these corridors following Alexander.
Yep, she's got a dodgy eye. AI art at its finest. Oh, it's one of my highest skills, and I don't think I've passed it. Oh, I have got it passed. It's marked as being passed. Oh, I've got
Okay.
There you go.
Right, so you're listening. You can't help but listen. It's the only conversation that's going off. This conversation between Charles and Yolanda, and it gives you a conversation, of words and the phrasing. It gives you the impression that she's almost like she's playing a role.
I was going to say, is it like forced or fake?
It doesn't sound.
Like
It's very professional. It's professionally done. It doesn't sound fake. It sounds very convincing. But you can detect these underlying tones and inflections that it does. It feels this isn't her. This is a role. This is an act. This is a character she's playing.
And surely Charles would be able to see that with him being
I'm smitten by her.
a quality actor.
Hey. I do, but I'm just so happy that.
So after a long, quite a long walk, so you've been running that long, you're sort of forced to like slow your pace a little bit, and all the while Yolanda keeps up conversation with Charles, never once stopping. And Alexander turns and says, "We're almost at the terrace." So and then it pushes open these huge ornate double doors, and you enter into this massive ballroom. One wall of which is made entirely of a succession of tall glass doors that stretch from the floor all the way to the ceiling, and looking out onto a long balcony below, and two ornate marble staircases, one descending either side down to this terrace. But this is hardly noticed at first, for the overwhelming impression is the hundreds and hundreds of these horse-headed winged creatures, thick on the balustrades, the roofs, the walls, streams of them, almost looking like a river pouring from the sky. Must be thousands of them pouring out the sky, falling and flying down from the from the way they seem to appear between the suns to join those who are already there, thickening their ranks more and more each minute.
Oh, the Lewis guns just aren't going to cut it. We should
But
have got
more-
a Maxim.
Damn it.
But
We
perhaps
might be
more,
in the spot of bother, lads.
perhaps
You
more
reckon?
unsettling is you would expect. I know you kind of expect them to be accompanied by this kind of a raucous noise, but they all sit still and in total silence, their attention focused on a small group of men at the centre of their mass on the terrace below.
Can we see who the men are?
So, you can all make a sanity roll at this point for seeing all these things.
What for?
Oh wow! So Charles, you lose 1d6. I think it's 1d6. I'll just double check.
Bear in mind, I can't lose more than 3.
I might be jumping off the terrace.
If I lose 3 or more, I'm screwed.
You're going to. Is that your daily limit?
Oh my god!
Booyah! We're at 7.
Look at that! I'm invincible.
So 8. Sorry, 8. What's that? 6. 19. I'm down to.
Wow. So is that your? How come you? You've gone over your daily limit then. So that's a bout of madness.
I have underlying insanity.
So let's see. Oh crap! I think did Harry make it?
I got a 10
Yeah, Harry made it by miles.
miles.
Okay. So you still lose a
Horses
point of
don't
sanity.
scare me.
You still lose 1 point of sanity though, which also triggers a bout of madness from you, because you got underlying insanity. And what
I
did
lose one?
you lose 1? So you're fine. So bout of madness. Let's see.
This might be interesting. You might need to chain us down with the that chain I've got on the padlock.
Shit. Lost my page.
You just roll on the not. Yeah, I think you roll on the temporary insanity.
Yeah. I just I had it bookmarked. I've lost it.
D10.
It
I
is a
want to go
D10.
blind.
It is a
Let me go
D10.
blind.
So if you'd both like to roll a D10,
5.
2.
2.
And then is it another D10 for how long it lasts?
It is, but I'll do that. Okay, so Harry, the horror of this sight before you, this unbelievable sight, it causes your brain to just completely shut down, and you go blind.
Yeah. I'll go blind.
You go blind.
You go blind. You cannot see.
Wow.
That's
Charles,
Probably for the best.
Ha, you only rolled a 2. Wait till this. I rolled a 5.
Charles, you don't know how it's possible, but your mother is stood there amongst the crowd on the terrace.
What? What? Mother?
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 Mummy?
I think it's mother. Let me just check it's your mother.
Mummy?
I've probably gone blind from counting all the flying horses.
I'm like that.
Oh no, I apologize. It's not your mother. I'm thinking of somebody else. It is your illegitimate child.
Oh.
Which one?
I don't know.
He's got several.
Yes.
Your young son stood there amongst the cultists.
Oh. Thomas? Thomas, is that you?
Oh, that's what I was going to ask. How far away are they? But
So they're about 100 yards away.
It don't matter. I can't see.
So below on the terrace, stood on the terrace, along with Charles's illegitimate son, is a dozen men, all wearing costumes reminiscent of those from the play. From the play The Queen and the Stranger. So the figure that appears to be playing Casilda has a sword, and she is striking a son, the character that you recognise as a son, Aldenez. But the blows with the sword, rather than pulled and fake, are real. As the blade strikes the figure playing the role of Aldenez. There's blood sprays up, splashes of blood pooling on the floor, and soaking the actors, the cultist robes, and it's just gushing everywhere. And yet the actor doesn't flinch and just continues to deliver their lines without fault.
Is Gerald narrating this to me? Like a radio play. What's going on? No, stop telling me.
I've just been booted from Forge.
Oh dear. We shall wait for you to return.
100 yards.
Yeah.
Shotguns don't work over 50 yards, do they?
No.
No. Oh dear. You can't get any closer because they're all the flying horses.
Right, so like I said, this guy's been slashed apart, and Alexander says, "That is Edwards. He must be stopped.
What's he
The
doing
play
with my
must be
son?
stopped."
Yeah, what's he doing with my son?
Well, Alex.
Thomas, get away from those men.
Those bad men.
Naughty men.
Okay,
Come with your
so
Uncle tripod.
Looks like he is being stopped.
so Harry, your vision starts to return, unfortunately.
I don't want it back. Oh dear.
So, what are you going to do? Alexander says the play must be stopped. The ritual must be stopped.
How do we stop it? What can we do? What can we do? We can't walk out there, can we? We'll just get
Kill them all.
You could. You would. Don't even think you couldn't get close. You couldn't get close to Edwards. You'd be torn to pieces.
That farmer that you told me about, it made short work of a single person, and there's over 1,000 of these things flying around.
So if I think you all went to the play, didn't you? So you can all make a no roll as well.
Yeah.
A no roll, which is an education roll, essentially.
Is this to work out where we are in the play, or we need
It
to
is
get to
indeed.
the final scene?
It is indeed.
Oh dear.
I have no idea. I'm too busy worried about my son. Thomas!
How old is your son?
I'm unsure.
How old's your character?
Well, I'm 38.
Oh,
It's not going to be very old.
It could
10.
be of age then.
10. So what are you going to do about Thomas?
I need to. I need to save him.
I presume you're shouting this out.
Yeah.
Was it power?
No, education.
Education.
We can't see Thomas, can we?
No, you cannot.
No, because he's not
there you
real.
Oh no.
Okay, so Harry and Gerald, you realise that the play is almost at its conclusion.
Oh, that's the best bit when it ends.
Nobody's got any. You can have that.
No, I left them on.
No. I dropped them all. I just have a load of pins.
You've got a flute.
And I could blow the whistle.
Blow it.
Oh yeah, and it's a whistle, not a flute, isn't it?
Blow the thistle whistle.
Have we brought all the items with us? Because there were those stones. I think we've got 2 of those stones. There was a copper bowl. Oh, was it not a triangle? No, there was a bell, wasn't there?
Yeah, there's a bell.
Did you didn't in one of the books that you read? Oh no, didn't you read something about?
There was associated with the bell, but I don't think I got chance to learn it properly.
You're not read it. All right.
Because it was going to take like 6 weeks to learn it.
Oh, we haven't got time.
It wasn't a spell associated with the bell. It told you of its use.
There was something about what. Oh, it was what they chanted at the other place, wasn't it? At Clare Melford. I thought that a spell.
Yeah.
Or they'd done
that
something.
might have been the spell.
They'd cast some spells, hadn't they, on themselves or something?
Yeah. I could try ringing the bell.
Or was it a protection? I can't remember.
It was.
You should remember. You read it.
So who's carrying all that stuff? By the way,
I know. I'm just saying. Have we brought it?
I had they're only little. The whistles around the neck.
I've got a stone. I know I've got one of the stones.
What? Gerald had this
Somebody
whistles.
else has got a whistle. Somebody else had a whistle.
Oh, I got a whistle off guy who blew his
man
head
on the
off.
Train.
Bacon.
Oh, bacon. I'll blow the whistle and ring the bell.
Well, we'll start his own band up on the terrace.
Okay, you can. So, Gerald, you can make a luck roll at this point.
I mean, you could knock your stones together. Bit of a puzzle, you know.
What's Alexander? What can we do? Is there anything we can do to stop
bananas.
Okay, right, you go. So when Alexander hears you talking, says you have the chime. You have the chime of Tex Pestle. Bacon's chime.
The little bell. Yes.
The bell. Yes.
Butler bell. Butler.
Says yes. You can use that. That will disrupt the energies.
Ring it.
Ring-a-ling.
Right. Yeah. So going through your pockets, the bell is missing.
Okay then. Plan B.
The pockets.
Okay, right. Go just pat it through your pockets. It's not there.
It's in your rucksack. Wait, it's where you put all the important things.
Bugger. Can I think of dropped it? Where it might be?
I
haven't been anywhere to drop it.
Yeah, you don't know. You have no idea.
What could Alexander?
How about the whistle?
You can blow the whistle if you want.
Could
I'll ask Alexander.
Sorry, what John? What's saying, John?
Could Alexander try and bind one of these flying horses to try and snatch up Edwards?
Since they will not harm Edwards.
They don't have to harm him. They just have to snatch him up and bring him to us.
Bound.
And then we'll harm him.
To bind them would take longer than we have.
Okay.
How can we get him away from those things?
What about if you go and talk to him? You said you wanted to talk to him. Well, can you get to him?
I can. Give me your gun.
I'll give him mine.
Says I'm the only one who can get close to him. If you even attempt it, you'll be torn to pieces.
Can you stop him?
I'll take the shotgun off him, what you've just given him, and I'll give him my pistol. Then he's got a chance to get closer to him, hasn't he? If he walks up to him with a shotgun. So I'll give him the pistol.
So again, he stops and says, "Remember, if we become separated, find the English gardener."
The English gardener.
And he smiled.
What was it? Find the English gardener.
And he kind of smiles, an odd smile at you all, and then he turns, takes a few steps towards the glass doors, and puts the gun to his head and pulls the trigger.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Oh. Wow.
Well, I guess that counts as getting separated.
So
you can all make a sanity roll. So yeah. So Charles, your son has seems to have disappeared into the crowd. You can't see him anymore.
Oh, piss.
Let's go look for him.
Oh well.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, I lost a sanity point, didn't I, for the flying horses?
Okay, so if you succeed, you lose 1 point of sanity from the shock of seeing Alexander just like offhand, just like blow his own brains out.
Best thing for him, really.
If you fail, you lose D2. So unfortunately, Harry's going to have another bout of madness.
I go blind again.
Oh dear.
D10.
So.
Yeah. Just do this.
How are we going to just...
Is that what you rolled, Charles? And another D10 for time.
I rolled 14.
What's the range of a shotgun with a slug?
Not very far.
No.
If it's maximum,
it's got to be 100 yards.
No, it's
Clay pigeon shootings.
I know when they first came out, they weren't very accurate.
So Harry's overcome with an overwhelming sense of paranoia. If you hear that,
I realise I'm trying to put real world accuracies onto.
You hear that, John?
Mm-hmm.
So Harry is suffering from a severe bout of paranoia.
I've been suffering with that for last month or so.
So nobody else heard that.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, as Alexander's limp body falls to the floor, the creatures perched on the rooftops, surrounding the cultists and covering every last available space, suddenly with a shriek take to the air.
What? Oh, was he the one that had bound them for Edwards?
Maybe.
And him dying.
Edwards
has released them.
Edwards turns and ripping the mask from his face and glares up at you. And as he sees Alexander's corpse lying at the top of the steps, he says, "No! Alexander, you fool!"
Clever boy.
Oh, Phil, I forgot to tell you, I'd taken all the bullets out of my gun.
You said they were fired butterflies.
Yeah, you lied.
Right, so
Alexander's done it though. He's stopped him.
So, remarkably, Alexander is like, whether his aim was off, but he's clearly dying. He's clearly dying, but as the last bit of life leaves him, he rolls over and stares up at the sky, and as a peaceful expression seems to start to spread across his face, it is suddenly replaced as he looks past the balcony, out the window and past the balcony, beyond, out across the lake. This look of peace changed to a expression of horror, and a shadow falls across the palace.
Oh,
Good riddance. It roll your fault.
So 1,000 screaming Bayaki lift up into the air as one, a thick black plague, and everything, time itself seems to slow down, and there's this intense feeling of pressure, of resistance, as though you've suddenly been plunged into the depths of the ocean, and something is forming out beyond the balcony, rising from the lake. It looms up over the palace, titanic. It blots out the stars.
Oh, we've got a balcony seat. Let's watch.
yeah.
Right, let's get out of here. Where are we going? We're finding the gardener, aren't we? Was it the English gardener?
So,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Running. We've no
Like
idea. Is that
Run away.
silly woman in the red dress with us still?
Yeah, she is.
Yolanda or what?
Yeah,
Where's the
she's
garden?
Yeah,
she's
do you know
clinging
where the
clinging
garden
on to clinging on to Charles, like clearly terrified, like shocked
Where's
and
the
just
English
totally
garden?
shocked by what's just happened.
I'll grab her by the jewels. Do you know where the English garden is?
Oh, is she a man?
Yeah. That's why you're attracted.
Yeah.
Okay,
Damn it.
right. So you can all make a power roll to try and tear. It's kind of drawn to hypnotized by what's happening above the lake. You see this thing materializing. You kind of drawn. It takes effort to like tear yourself away from it.
Sick. God damn it.
Do this, Harry. No, you can't. Can I spend luck?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Can I grab Charles and like?
Four.
Pull me away.
You can, I suppose, but maybe not not quick enough.
Oh, I can't do another sanity roll.
I think you might be about to.
Can you just cover my eyes instead of pulling me away?
So, as you pull yourselves, you like actually literally have to like fight to will yourself to turn away. You still catch sight of this thing forming, this like figure, this like vaguely humanoid figure forming, like huge, like titanic in size, and you just this mere glimpse. You have to make a sanity roll. Charles, you see something far worse, and you must make a
Really?
sanity
Fine.
roll as well.
So are we all making a
You're all making a sanity roll. It's just the one that Charles is making is far nastier.
Right.
Oh, would
For
be,
Rick.
wouldn't it?
See, I just read the sanity rules. I don't lose any more sanity, do I?
Oh no, you don't.
If
If
you're
you're in
already-
quick session.
Yeah, I'll probably forget this ever happened, so that's why I don't lose the sanity.
What?
Yeah.
So you don't? What? How much?
If you've gone batshit crazy, which
You don't. Which I have.
Mm.
Oh, so I don't lose any more. Ah.
It's when you're suffering a bout of
The
madness,
last
isn't
one.
it? You mean?
No, I failed. No, I did pass it. Yeah, I did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Let's have a look.
this is gonna be a massive hit if you fail this.
Well, I did.
Oh wow.
So I failed, but I don't take the sanity hit, do
Because you're suffering a bout
I?
of madness.
I have a bout
but-
of madness.
Yeah,
but
because
I'm suffering about. I've got a bout of madness and underlying insanity. So do I.
no, it's just when it's about your bout of madness has passed.
Okay.
Good effort.
But yeah, so if you who failed? So Harry, you failed, so you lose. Well, you don't lose anything because you're in a bout of madness. Gerald, you failed, so you lose 1d6.
I passed.
Oh, you passed, did you?
I passed. Oh no.
No, you didn't.
Oh
You
no,
failed.
I failed. Sorry.
Failed. So
No.
you lose 1d6 sanity. Charles, you failed. Yes, you lose
100?
1d100.
What?
Whoa.
1d100.
What?
Your head explodes.
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're now a follower of.
hi.
Can I just say I only had 19?
Yeah. It's not looking good for you, is it? Really?
So if I'm 90, what's 19 minus 79?
Okay, so you all failed.
-60.
60.
Minus 60, yeah. It's not bad, that.
Okay, so
I
you
think
all
the word
failed
you're
your.
looking for is wibble.
There's no coming back from that.
So you all failed your sanity rolls, but some of you failed lesser ones than others. So
I get another bout of.
You do indeed.
insanity, don't I? So
You do.
What you said before and something else.
Yeah. So you can roll another d10, and I'll level at that in a second.
This will be
Wow.
fun.
I am dead.
So
No, you're not dead. You're just insane.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just like, my brain's melting. It's running out my ears.
hysterics. So Harry just runs off screaming in hysterics.
So I'm as good as dead because I'll not get to the garden.
Okay. So to, like I said, when you're trying to, before that, when you're trying to like tear your eyes away from this thing. So Harry, you concentrate on a clutch of these flapping bat-like horse-headed creatures as they fly high up away from you, and they're performing, as you watch them, they're performing complex patterns that appear to have some meaning to you. And they fly closer to this great creature, dwarfed by it. You don't want to watch, but you stay fixed to the Bayaki as they go right to its face, and one by one, in a long stream, they fly into its eyes.
Mm,
Oh,
Gerald.
I'm fine.
So you failed though, didn't you?
Yeah, I lost 2 points.
Yeah. So
Yeah, seemed worse.
again, you try and as you're trying to tear your gaze away from this thing, you can't take a breath. You feel almost as if you're drowning, falling further and further underwater, pulled under. You can feel something pulling you under, something that you can't fight, and then you realise that you're actually falling upwards, straight towards the thing's face, and you're falling into the thing's eyes. You manage to tear away your own gaze just before you are lost in the grey depths of its sockets. Charles, you look
oh yeah.
right into the thing's eyes. They're empty and grey and as deep as the ocean, endless, timeless, utterly alien, and you fall up and into them, falling through space, falling down and up at the same time, falling forever and ever, and something is waiting for you, and you know it must not find you. The thing is impossibly different from the way we are, but it has you, and oh, so gently, it touches your mind, and you are changed forever.
2 pencils and a pair of underpants, please.
So, you
Well,
suffer a bout of madness.
I think you should do a dance as well.
It now knows all about acting.
So, yeah, Charles, you still suffer a bout of madness. So, if you want to give us a roll, you're not dead. You're just completely batshit crazy. Yeah.
5 again. Do I see my son?
Yes, so you see your son. Your son is fleeing down the corridor.
I'll chase after him.
After fleeing along with Yolanda holding his hand, and they both flee down the corridor together.
He's too young.
So, Gerald, did you roll a bout of madness as well? You didn't need a bout of madness,
Do I
did you?
need one?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay,
I've only
so
lost 4 today.
so yeah, Harry goes running off in hysterics.
I'm searching for my son.
Charles runs off after Yolanda, shouting about his son.
Thomas!
To be honest, to go after Yolanda because I want to know where this garden is.
Okay, as you turn and flee after Yolanda, you hear the thud, and glancing back, you see at first 1, then half a dozen, then 10, 20 of these things battering against the glass doors of the ballroom, and one of the doors starts to crack and splinter.
Yeah, I'm going to cheese it.
Okay. So, Harry, give us a luck roll. See if you head the same way that everybody else is going.
Shit, didn't get to pick my pistol up. Not that it matters. Oh, balls. I've come out of bloody Foundry. How have I done that? Oh, no, I'm still in.
Me out.
No, I've got two browsers at work. I don't know. Look. Big 13 points of luck. Here goes. Can do this. Maybe not. 59.
59. 13. So you kind of run off in a completely random direction.
I've gone back to the sex party.
Yeah.
And some cheese and pineapple on a stick.
Okay. So meanwhile, you two chase after Yolanda. And I was going to run a chase scene, but I don't know if we're going to have time to run a chase scene. So I think we might just narrate it instead. Okay, so you run headlong through the rooms and corridors of the palace, trying to keep up with Yolanda as she runs screaming.
She knows.
Till you eventually burst out of a set of doors into a garden. In the on the north wing of the palace. So as you burst out, it's surprisingly quiet and serene here. It's a large, formally laid out garden comprised of lawns and gravel paths, clipped hedges, fountains, and ornate pools. And the whole thing's closed off from the rest of the palace grounds by an enormous brick wall that just seems to go up as far as you can see. And it's almost completely overgrown with ivy. In the centre of the garden is a small hedge maze, in the centre of which you can see a stone archway.
Oh, that looks tempting.
Head for the archway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can make a luck roll to navigate the maze.
Oh,
come on! Come on! Beautiful.
Okay, so you get in your hurry to make your way through the maze. You get separated. Gerald, you've managed to follow. You find Yolanda stood at the centre of the maze, in which there's this stone archway. Charles, you run into a dead end, and as you turn round, a figure with scruffy clothes and wild black hair steps in front
Thomas?
of you. So at first you think to be Thomas is too tall to be Thomas, and you're quite sure it can't be Thomas, as the switchblade flicks open and Coombs lunges at you.
God damn it! Can I try and get out of the way?
You
Can I pivot? Can I use?
You can try and dodge. You can try and dodge.
What do you want? A dexterity?
That will be it'll be a dodge roll.
No dodge.
So so if you try and dodge, let me see. I have to get his thing up. Oh wow. that's kind of a fumble. So let's just see. Unless he fumbles his roll, he's going to hit. He's going to stab you.
For God's sake!
Come on, Mr. Coombs.
You're too busy dribbling to dodge, obviously.
I know.
Right, knife. Oh, he has got a good chance. Proceed anyway. Fighting brawl. He does. He gets regular success, so he stabs you with his switchblade, and you take 6 points of damage as he stabs you in the gut.
Ouch.
And if that's half of your hit points, you have to roll a Constitution.
You do indeed.
And that might be game over.
No. Resist.
Resist. Very good. Okay.
I'm prone though.
What?
It says I'm prone and majorly wounded.
Oh, all right, cool. Right. So, what's your dex?
70.
70. Oh, he's got a better dex than you, so he lunges at you. He lunges at you again.
Can I
And
fight
you're
him?
prone.
You can
Yeah.
fight back. You can dodge.
Well, we're gonna have to.
Can you dodge if you're prone?
You can still dodge if you're prone. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and fight him.
There's rolling about on the floor. Don't stab me! Don't stab me!
Well, that's a regular success, so you have to beat his success, so he has to fail.
Not my face! Not my face!
Not the face. This is where I die.
Oh, he misses.
Yes.
So you get to act.
I want to hit him I want to punch him in the throat.
Okay then. Okay, so you can hear the like screeching in the sky above you, and out the corner eye you can see a cloud of black leathery wings spreading out across the sky.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about that because I'm on the floor bleeding.
You
and
can see
dying.
this as well, Gerald.
Priorities.
Priorities, yeah. I'll worry about them in a minute.
You should pretend to be dead. You should use your acting prowess and pretend to be dead.
No, so where's Coombs now?
He's
Standing over you.
yeah.
Can I kick out to him then? Well, or can I?
If you want, you can. So you can dodge around. You can try and dodge around him. You can attack him, or you can do a fight maneuver. So a fight maneuver is you describe some kind of outcome that you want to achieve. Essentially, it almost always uses fighting brawl anyway. But
Yeah, so I want to.
You can try
I
and
guess.
disarm him.
But
Well,
knock
no,
his
'cause if he stood over me, I want to
knock his legs out.
Yeah, I want to sort of thrash out at his kneecap with my foot and sort of try and buckle his knee. Or
Have you got any luck? Like you can spend luck in combat. So
yeah, I've got 21.
Right, so you might need to spend it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
you can't. You can spend luck, but you can't push.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's so that'd be a fighting brawl roll. I'm going to say that's versus his. Let's see, you got a normal success. Where are we?
There you go.
So he has to.
I mean, it's going to try and kill me, so. Oh.
That's gonna.
Well, it's me done.
Okay, so it's. So you try and trip him up, and he kind of like staggers, but kicks you away, and so he keeps his footing, and then he comes down, he like drops down on one knee and goes to like stab you through the chest.
Oh
I
dear.
think at this point he's just putting you out of your misery, isn't he?
I think he is. Yeah. Any chance I can block him?
You can always fight back. You can always dodge.
I'm always going to have to fight back because I'm never going to dodge.
Okay, so make a fighting
Block him
brawl.
with your chest.
Make a fighting brawl roll.
Oh, I'm going to spend that.
You spend 4 luck. Okay, that's a success.
Hell
So
yeah.
he needs to be. Okay,
I've got
so
some.
he's got a regular success. You've got a regular success. His regular success beats yours. So you like try and block him, but the like force, the strength of his blow like pushes your arm back, and he
Son of a
buries the
bitch.
knife in your chest.
Oh dear. So what? Where
Are
does that leave me now with two hit points?
That you take 4 points of damage, and he
I
drives
am done.
the blade straight through your heart.
Oosh. I am dead.
Been nice knowing you.
That's it.
To be fair, you were on minus 60 sanity as well.
Yeah.
I did you a favour.
Right, so Gerald, you can hear some commotion going off. You can you hear like Charles scream, and then it
Well,
cut
do I
off.
check if I'm dead? Well, actually, even though I've died, do I have to check? Do I have to roll a check to see if I'm dying?
I believe
'cause
if
I'm-
you've been reduced to
0, don't you roll a?
Well, he's going to slit your throat next, so
It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, don't you roll a?
just to make sure.
Yeah, I
Might
don't
not
think
be
anybody's
dead.
coming
Takes
to give you
damage.
first aid.
damage
Might not
is
be dead.
more than damage is equal to
I mean, I
hit
don't
points
want
fall to
spoil it.
0. Have you got a major wound?
Yeah,
Yes.
his
Yes.
first wound was major.
You are dying. You are marked as
So
dying.
bleed
So
out
on your
anyway.
next round, unless somebody performs first aid on you, you'll make a con check,
Cool.
providing Coombs doesn't just mutilate you.
All right. Yeah.
And
Section.
also, what was Coombs' fighting brawl? Had he got? Because you rolled a 14, which
Oh
if that
yeah,
was a fifth of his skill, that's double damage,
yeah.
full damage,
No,
and then
it's
you
not.
roll damage again.
No, it's not a fifth.
You'd have to have 70
Yeah.
for 14.
Yeah, that's a hard success he's got, not a critical success.
Oh,
Oh,
thank
fine.
God for that. Oh, saved me.
Okay, so yeah, you hear Charles scream, and then it's like cut off with like a gurgling cry.
I'm just going to accelerate towards the gate. Sorry, guys.
Okay, right. So
I love you, but
Don't be sad.
it's not like we've been friends since childhood or anything. I only met you last week.
Look on bright side. I've gone missing, and you'll inherit everything.
That's true.
Oh no!
You did make that will.
Well, you'd need proof of death.
So only as you step through, or like
Give it a
stagger.
couple of years. That counts.
So only
I
as
can
you
wait.
stagger through this stone archway is that you notice on the floor a set of milk white glass beads pressed into the turf close by into the pattern of a yellow sign. And as you stagger through, an instant later, you find yourself on the track that runs from Mulladock House. The house is just visible through a light mist behind you, and by your feet there are pebbles pressed into the packed earth in the same pattern that you saw just a moment ago.
Can I pick them up?
You can if you
Or
want.
kick them?
So, intense blizzard has descended on the area, and it's bitter cold. Ice and snow tearing into your face.
House. I'm going to stagger to the house.
Has he got separated from the woman in red?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not come.
She's not come through. No, she wouldn't come through willingly.
Yeah, I'm going to stagger my way to the house.
Okay. So,
So how much sanity reward does Charles get? And Harry. I suppose we don't know.
so those that remain in Carcosa, the residents of Carcosa, although fleeing in terror, are left unharmed by Hastur. All others feel his full wrath and are drawn into his eyes and consumed.
I've applied for a work visa, don't I? Can't I become a local?
So
What
So the
about
next-
Edwards? Does he? Because he's not from there, is he?
yeah, he's Edwards is killed. All the cultists, they're all killed.
Good.
Result.
None of them survive.
I'll count that as a win.
So The next morning, the blizzard has mysteriously disappeared, and the outside, the ice is thawing and quickly melting away. The mist has gone. All signs of Carcosa have gone. And you slowly trudge your way back to the village of Canich. And from there you make your way home. Before leaving, or when you're trying to secure transport from Canich back to Inverness or Drumdrocket, you learn that during the night 12 residents died in their sleep,
Oh,
which
that's like the other place.
eerily mirrors what happened in Clare Melford. In fact, several days later, you see this article in a paper. A local community, villages visited by tragedy. A local community was today mourning a dreadful and as yet unexplained rash of deaths that occurred late this Thursday. Thursday, not sure. The day might not be correct. 12 residents died in their sleep on Wednesday night or Thursday morning in the village of Canich, which lies on the meeting of the rivers Glass and the rivers Canich, 12 miles west of Drumdrocket. All deaths are apparently due to natural causes, but this in a village of just 110 souls. Doctors from nearby Inverness and Drumdrocket who have attended the scene have not found any evidence that might account for such an anomaly, and the residents were from several distinct households. The only commonality that has so far been established is that the deaths were concentrated amongst the old and the very young. No further deaths are believed to have occurred at the time of going to press. The Inverness County Board of Health has declared a quarantine on the area as a precautionary measure. Any persons who might have visited Canich in the last week are asked to contact the Inverness Hospital.
I will not do that.
So, in the aftermath of all this, following it as well as that, so Alexander, of course, is dead, and with him and Edwards, the cult seemingly is seemingly finished. There's only one name related to the cult, or two names related to the cult that are kind of at loose ends, being William Gresty and Malcolm Quarry.
Yeah.
We didn't think, but we should have asked him where this Gresty lives because he knew him. He probably knew where that farm is.
So
Quarry,
later that year, or the next year, in fact, in February of 1930, Dr. Highsmith publishes an academic paper called Sympathetic Mania, a case study in repetitive and predictive reoccurrence, that appears in the British Journal of Psychology. It receives a measure. It's received highly. It receives great attention and it gives Dr. Highsmith a great amount of renown. It even eclipses Dr. Bancroft's earlier work.
No, not having that. Guy's a knob. I'm going to come back from the dead and haunt him.
And getting through this renown, he gains more new success and newfound recognition that he has sought. Although this is marred as details of the unpleasantness at St Agnes's Asylum comes to light, and his proposed invitation to join the staff of the prestigious Tavistock Institute in London is rescinded to avoid scandal.
Good.
Seems fair.
So, rewards. So,
Yay, what do we get?
Stopping the play. Gerald, you get 1d8 sanity back. And then I need to ask you a question. What do you believe has happened to Hastur? Do you believe he was freed or that he was thwarted?
Well, we didn't. He'd been thwarted, but I'm not so sure now, to be honest, because everybody died. That didn't look like somebody getting thwarted to me. I think he's still out there.
Okay, so I will
He
give you...
postponed temporarily, but he wasn't thwarted, that's for sure.
Okay.
Certainly not permanently.
We've basically provided him with a little snack.
Yeah.
So
Or I have.
I will give you the lesser reward then. So you can have 1d8 sanity for another 1d8 for having some level of success. So in the weeks and months that follow, you are still plagued by the dreams that you and Charles were suffering from. Not only that, they have intensified. And this is the dream that you experienced last. Let us see. So you dream again of faces. Look up, pooled and expectant. You sit with the others, the violin perched between chin and shoulder, as you've seen others do and as you've done before, and your left hand on the strings. The music starts up and the orchestra crashes into its brief life. But are you the only one playing a role? Isn't the audience applauding and calling out in the wrong places? And the other musicians, they're competing, sounding their instruments randomly. The conductor points at you. You glance at your music and there is the yellow sign. It writhes and squirms and seems ready to reach out for you. You must assuage it. Hastily, you start to play to its rhythm, building the sound yourself note by note. You're exultant. You work furiously, crouched forward, balanced on the edge of your chair. As you do, you glimpse the other members of the orchestra around you, and they're no longer human. Creatures still black, thin and strong, with wings and long heads, rows of long teeth. Your fingers touch your palms, your instrument is gone. You're sitting on the edge of a round hole. You can't see the bottom, and there are things falling down into it. One by one, the creatures, your neighbours, are diving in. They spread their wings out, they grow and glide down. There's a conductor, his tattered white robes drifting in the wind that isn't there. He turns and points to you, and without thought you jump down, down. You count the seconds you have left, and you are aware that this is the only act that has mattered in your life.